remember when Ghost of Tsushima came out and all of the game journalists had the meltdown. They were absolutely livid because during the presentation, there was a white guy playing a Japanese instrument. Now, none of the Japanese people complained, but you got the game journalists from California. And they were basically upset that cultural appropriation is a thing. Yeah, like Hades has all these black Greek gods, and the journalists from California are cheering it. But when you have a presentation where a white guy is playing a Japanese musical instrument, that is an atrocity, crimes against humanity. It turns out that he was actually one of the only people on Earth that has mastered the instrument, right? But that didn't stop the game journalists from then crying about the fact that there's too many white people on the development. And now it makes sense, right? Because Ghost of Tsushima at the time didn't pay the protection tax. They didn't hire a consultancy group. Like, had they hired Sweet Baby, then the journalists would have cheered it on like they're cheering Hades. And probably you would see more Netflix-like characters in the game. But it is what it is, right? So what usually happens in the gaming industry is that the journalists complain and whine and cry, and then the game is popular, and we pretend that the journalists always like the game. It's so disgusting, right? It's a protection racket. This is what really pisses me off about it. But with that aside, I don't really understand if there's going to be a second Ghost of Tsushima or an expansion, because I read the article. It's not very clear. What I do understand is that it's going to have a multiplayer component. Now, I don't know why a video game in the style of Ghost of Tsushima requires co-op. I really hate stealth-based games that have co-op, because usually what ends up happening is a single person doesn't stealth correctly, and it just breaks the whole thing, right? So eventually, it ends up getting you in combat, pretty much. So like, if you guys remember, Ghost of Tsushima could have been played in three ways. Either fully stealth, fully combat, or a mixture of both. And if you're going to make it multiplayer, it's going to be either a mixture of both, or it's just going to be like a combat game. There's no in-between. But they are making it co-op, I suppose. And in order to play co-op, you will require that you connect to the PlayStation Network. Now, the problem with the PlayStation Network in Helldivers was that it wasn't announced, right? So I guess like now they're announcing it before, and they're letting you know, hey, you want to play this game on PC, you gotta connect to the PSN. And there's several issues with the PSN. And first and foremost is the fact that there are some nations which literally cannot access this feature. Which I guess it's fine if you're telling people from the beginning and you're not selling the game in that nation, right? It's a lot different than someone from Niger buying the game on PC and only being able to play for a couple of months before it's restricted from them. But the other issue is about why people are forced to play on the PlayStation Network. And first and foremost is moderation, right? Like, it's PlayStation's inclusivity feature, they call it. So that they can spy on you. Like, literally that. They want to listen in to the conversation that you have with your friends, and they want to impose their values into your household, right? Like, they don't care about what your mommy and daddy says. They don't care about what your teachers say. No, like PlayStation, the people at Sony, one of the richest companies in the world, apparently they have values. Like, they have moral. They're like the church, okay? And if you don't behave in the way they want you to behave, they will ban your game. So in other words, you're spending, like you spend, I don't know, like $120 now for a deluxe game, right? They can take that away from you so that you can buy it again. Like, it's profitable for them to ban your ass. And it's not just that. It's also to harvest information. Like, they outright think this is a good feature, that there is an AI which listens in every time you use a microphone. So every time you use a microphone, your voice is recorded and stored into an AI. Now, they say that no one is listening in, but again, you have to trust them because they have no obligation to be honest, and there's no way for you to verify them. But even if no one is listening in, at any point, their database can get hacked. So everything that you talk while playing video games is now into the hands of a hacker. They can also sell the data to third party. They can also use you in order to train AI. Like all this nasty shit that most customers don't want. This is why they insist on requiring a PlayStation Network. And it's not only that. They also want to harvest the bio data from people. Like they have a patent to measure the bio data so that they can sell it to third parties to show, oh, like this part of the game, players got really excited. In other words, the games are very expensive. They expect you to pay for them. And on top of that, they want to harvest all the information they can from you and sell that as well, right? So like they're trying to monetize every single aspect from your existence while providing the same type of product or a worse product if possible. So this is why people are against the PlayStation Network. Plus the fact that in some instances like the UK and Ireland, they want you to sign up with an ID, with a government issue ID in order to access the feature. It's really grotesque when you think about it. But hey, you know, like if they're announcing it and they're saying if you want to play this game, we expect you that you make an account, and people understand and they still want to. I mean, that's their option, right? Like they've been educated as customers. And of course, there's also the argument, well, yeah, but like most other companies want you to do it, right? Like Blizzard wants you to start a Battle.net account and Ubisoft, and it's like, well, yeah, I guess, but like, when is enough? Like, at which point, just because something happened in the past, you can say, well, we just don't want it anymore, if it's possible. Like, if it's a computer game, I don't want to create a PlayStation Network account. Why is that so difficult to understand? And again, you know, if it's a spyware that harvests data from people, why would I want to link my PC to it? Like, it's one thing when you're using your PlayStation with it, and you treat the PlayStation as a hostile device, as if it's a spyware, and you make sure you don't connect a webcam to it, you make sure you put a duct tape on it, and then once you finish playing, you unplug it, like that. I know it sounds unreasonable, but why not? You know? I can't do that with my PC. Like, I've no idea what PlayStation's third party does to my PC, nor do I need to trust in it. So I can definitely understand why a lot of people are skeptical of Sony and what it's actually trying to accomplish. It's not a company that has the trust of the customers anymore, nor should it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. And of course, if you want to support the channel, there's a link into the pinned comment, which can take you to my subscribe star. And I also have a list to my live stream where I live stream every week. So I'll see you guys later. Take care.